Tem aqui muito ruído. Deixa eu...
Can you hear me?
Hello, Danny. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you, mister?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, yes, perfectly. Perfectly. Let's wait for... Okay.
Can you hear me?
Vanusa. Yes.
Hey.
Now you are connected also.
Hello, Danny.
Good evening, Vanusa.
How are you today?
I'm good. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Yeah. I think that we are ready.
Yeah.
7 p.m. We are online in YouTube also. Let me share the YouTube link just in case someone
Yes,
want
please.
to. Yeah, YouTube link. Uh, okay, I will send it on chat. I think that is yeah. Yes, it is on chat. Yes, Danny, we are ready now. Let me present you in first time. Vanusa, we will be together to talk about. Let's talk. The idea of this, Danny, is talk about the pathway that Danny is doing during his life. I meet Danny in PMI in our long trip from start of PMI Angola Africa. Danny was the president of PMI Congo Democratic chapter, and from that time till now we are still together and already comes to Angola to PMI Angola conference. Do you remember Vanusa when then comes to Angola?
What year was that? I really don't remember.
I
What
think
year?
that
What
was
year?
the year that make the translation. I think that was the first time.
Oh well, that was the
2011, 19, 2019.
19.
2019. Yeah. Well, that was was our first experience, and it was like very quick experience. And it was too many things happening, participating, doing the translation, organizing. So I didn't have time to meet a lot of people. And wow, it's good to know. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, Danny, let me present you. I asked Vanusa to introduce Danny. I think that Vanusa makes some research about Danny.
Oh,
The
really?
idea is to Vanusa, please. Vanusa is also an English teacher. Is here to help me. Okay, to help me to speak English. We are doing something different. We are make online event just in English because in my point of view it's important for us in Africa, particularly the countries that don't speak English perfectly, start speaking English most for the business. Okay, I think that we have a language for business is English. In African conferences, everything we talk is in English. That is the why. I think that it's important for us to make a different try something different. Okay. As you can see, Danny, as you can see, Vanusa, my English is not good. I need
It
some
is
kind
good.
of corrections,
Really? Are you
some time
sure?
of yes. It's not the best English. The idea is to talk in English to help people from Angola to improve the English, speak in English, and also to bring something new from outside of Angola, from Africa. And that is why I am very pleased to invite Danny as our first convidado, como se diz convidado? Our first
Our first guest.
first guest to come here and yeah, and to share the experience. Yeah, Vanusa, please bring
Yeah.
what you have
I'm
about
very,
Danny.
I'm very keen to hear how I will be presented.
Okay, Alcides, thank you. Well, I think your English. I don't think. I'm sure your English is not bad. At least you can communicate. We can understand. And you are clear. Your English is clear. So I think you are good to do business at least, which is very good,
Yeah,
in my
thank you.
opinion. I don't know, Danny, what you think
Oh,
about
you
Alcides'
see,
English.
I've known I've known Alcides for the last 6 years, and we have been struggling to speak to each other in English. We call
Okay.
it English, but I'm not sure if it's English. So since we can communicate, for me, it's enough. The most important is to make sure that the message is well received,
Mm-hmm.
and to be open to allow mistakes, because through mistakes we can only through mistake we can grow. So for me, he has a good English, not broken like mine, but I mean, we are able to communicate, so it's okay. And
Okay.
it's a great idea for you to give this opportunity to people to improve this business and professional language.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
congratulations.
Yeah, I also think so. Alcide, I don't know if you want me to introduce myself first, or you want
Yes,
then.
please, please,
Yeah.
please. Yes, please.
Yeah. So talking about my English, I learned. I grew up in Namibia. When I was 9 years old, like very very little. I did my primary, secondary school, and 1 year university, and then I had to come back to Angola. And when I came back to Angola, I had a lot of difficulties to join a university here. So I started actually, but then I didn't even uh, finish. I didn't go to the middle of the years even. So I got the opportunity to join the oil and gas industry where I worked for 15 years. And because I was always traveling around, I decided to join a online university, that's CIC, Cambridge International College, which I studied 4 years, sales and marketing. So I love English, and Alcide is right. Yeah, today is like the number one language for communication. Although people say now it's Mandarin, but I still don't think so. Um, so yeah, I'm also an English teacher, and I'm a career manager as well. So I feel more comfortable speaking English because since I've been here, I had to work with not only mostly with the expat people. So talking about American, English people, French people. Yeah, I've been with Halliburton for 7 years, 5 years actually, BP 6 months, and then I went to Silver where I stayed 7 years. So it was English every day. So I carry my English until now. I think I feel more comfortable. I always say that English is easier than Portuguese. So yeah, then I joined PMI. I think mostly the opportunity came because of my English, and it was a very good opportunity. It opened a lot of doors. I met a lot of people, and I learned more about project management actually because I always studied and worked in sales and marketing and teaching as well. So then, yeah, let's take advantage of the time we have, and I'll pass it over to you so you can just present yourself to us. Thank you, Asij.
Thank you. So my name is Danny Byabene. I am, I mean, in the Project Management Institute universe. I have been the steering committee member, which is the founding member of the PMI DRC chapter in 2017. And then from 2019, I've been the president of the chapter since this year, 2 months back. I'm currently the second immediate past president. Professionally speaking, I'm currently in supply chain management discipline. I am the supply chain management director for Airtel DRC, which is a telecommunication, a Pan-African telecommunication company. We are present in 14 African countries. But before that, I was head of project management office and executive assistant in the MD office. And I've been also in the operations, technical operations and technical departments with Huawei Technologies. I've done some training consultancy as well. Yes, that's all. And I am a happy married man with four kids.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Danny.
Great, Danny.
I like the part happy married man.
Yeah. Danny, what about experience of project in Africa? Our panel, the name is Project Management from Africa.
Mhm.
And in your perspective, how we as African, how we are handle the projects, how we are constructing our continent. What is your point of view about this? Like your perspective?
See, from my point of view, if we go back in the history, we have been quite. I think we have got some good track records in terms of project management when we go back in the pharaohs era in Egypt. I mean, to be able to build those pyramids in Egypt, or if you go in the Mali dynasty, we can see also some big palace and big mosque. If you go back, if you go down in Zimbabwe, we also have some big monuments there in Zimbabwe. I mean, we have been good naturally because at that time we can talk about structured discipline in terms of project management. We've been quite good in Africa for a long time. But then when the science part of the project management started, we were in some other things. I can speak about we have gone through the slavery period. We have gone through the colonialism period, and all this, in my point of view, have impacted a lot our capability and our confidence in our own expertise and mastery of delivering projects. Then after the independence days, there have been all this democracy, dictatorship. Every country have gone through one or another in some point of time. And what I can say is that we have been distracted a lot by politics, and we have forgotten to build our countries. So for me in Africa, we shouldn't be ashamed in adopting the current way of delivering project, which is coming mostly from the West. If we see Project Management Institute, if we see Prince 2, all the current methodology of delivering projects are actually coming from the West. But we shouldn't be ashamed of adopting them, because we have got our own proud era of proud in delivering projects, and we are just expected to have the humility to go back, learn, and come on the ground and show that we know the things, we know how to deliver and deliver project. I mean, our countries, our communities are really in great needs of big changes, big development, and all this can only be done through projects. So as of now, let's not, there is no point in going back in time because we won't bring back the history. Let's just be humble, learn the current way of doing things, and come back and do those projects. This is what our community is expecting from us, and this is what we should be trying to make the best way, the fastest we can. Yes.
Yeah, it's a big challenge, man, Danny. And if you look back 6 years ago, and if you're supposed to compare in terms of I won't believe that in fact that we have chapters of project management institution in our countries in Africa. Now we are at least 25, 21 chapters. 5 years ago, maybe we were 14. Now we have 21 chapters in Africa. You think that with chapters in on those countries of Africa, it's a good way to improve and develop our countries in terms of projects?
As I said, the most important is to identify where are our weaknesses and how to address them. Now, I'm deeply convinced that the solution is project management, the discipline. Now, if this solution, it may come in many vehicles. I mean, the most preeminent and the one I actually myself appreciate and use currently is PMI, which is bringing us the discipline of project management. But definitely it's not the only vehicle. We can get this discipline through different ways. But the most important is to understand that this is our way out to solve our issues and to develop our countries and our continent. And we have to be smart enough, humble enough to learn, to master, and then to come and practice and deliver. So PMI is one of the way to get this discipline and to master it, but definitely it's not the only way. But from my point of view, as of now, this is the way I would encourage people, because I've seen a lot of benefits, not only at a personal level, but also at a professional level, and also the impact in the community is quite interesting through the PMI way of mastering the project management discipline.
Discipline is our big challenge. Our challenge that we have in our countries. Vanusa,
Yeah.
what we have?
Well, Danny, can you please remind me how long have you been in PMI since you joined?
Okay. See, I joined, my first experience with PMI was in 2016, where I was invited to attend the PMI Africa conference in Ghana. That was my first experience. But in the meantime, we were already working on the creation of the DRC chapter. So I was discussing with the PMI staff at that time, Michael Kimera. But then I really experienced PMI at the Ghana conference, and it was just blowing me. I mean, the people I met there, the quality of people I met back in Ghana, Accra, I mean, most of them are very close friends now, like Alcides. I mean, the PMI has helped me to really see the world outside ERC differently, and
Yeah.
to be able to extend the reach of my network at an Africa level, not only at country level. So this is one of the biggest things I've got from the PMI, and I really cherish it because not later than this morning, uh, one of my young brother is currently in Zambia, and he felt in some issues. He went there to fix some issue from his company, and the lawyer they hired there was trying to mess things out. Just guess who I called to go and help him to find the best solution. The PMI member I met in the PMI activities. So it's really making Africa a small country and a family. This is a big thing on PMI. Not only Africa actually, because I was able to get also some friends and contacts even outside Africa, with whom I regularly in contact. And from this perspective, I think PMI remains one of the best organization in terms of developing professional networking and learn by doing and by watching examples around you. Yes.
Okay. Oh, thank you. You actually answered in one question I made. You answered two questions. Actually, I was about to ask you about your experience and how you felt the first time. Like me, like when the first contact I had with PMI, I'm like, wow, this is fantastic. All these people here and what they spoke about. And it was great to know that there are people that care about their brothers and sisters, like other countries, the growth and helping the country grow with the little they have. That was very good for me. So, Danny, what was as a president, what was your biggest challenge? Like something that really you almost like, did you ever feel like giving up in during your your career
See,
journey?
yes, one of my biggest challenge was actually the team motivation, which is part of the team management. Because when I was head of PMO in my company, I did not have. I spent almost 4.5 years in that position, and I did not have team member in my role. So it was quite difficult for me to learn and to practice all those good lessons about team management and team motivation. And in PMI, I had to manage a whole board and to make the chapter deliver, you see. So that was quite a big challenge for me when I became president, but also it has been also one of the biggest lessons because after my position as head of PMO, I was promoted as supply chain management director, where I had a team of 25 people. You see, you come from zero as a direct report to 25 people. But hopefully, when I was promoted, I had already spent some 2 years as a president. So there are some things that I had already learned, but this has been one of the biggest challenge for me: the team motivation, the team management, to really learn and help the team to come along with you and deliver your vision and your mission. This has been a great challenge for me, and I learned a lot actually to reduce my gap in this aspect of my skills.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Alcides, I think I'm okay for now. Thank you.
Yeah, Danny, we
Sir,
have you as our Congo as our neighbor, no? Very close to
okay.
Angola. We have historical connection between those countries. In past tense, maybe we were just one, the kingdom of Congo, né?
Definitely,
But
definitely.
connect us in terms of roads, railway, railways, como é que se diz? Caminho de ferro.
Yeah, it's railways. It's
Railways,
railway.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
in fact that we have the SADC area, né? SADC zone, ACADC commercial
Mhm.
zone. How do you see the relationship between those countries, and how can we improve this relationship and make those countries stronger with this relationship?
Uh, I think that the way the countries in Africa are today, it has just been a big joke. I'm trying. Sometimes I'm trying to imagine myself in Berlin in 18 something, when the colonial leaders were just they were cutting Africa like a cake, saying that this portion is yours, this portion is mine, and then they go together. No, you see, I can give you that portion, and then you I think you all know the monopoly game. I really, when I try to imagine that session in Berlin, I think they were kind of playing Monopoly. So the countries have been just cut depending on feelings, motivation, really unrelated with the grand reality. Most of the people in African border are actually from the same tribes or from the same uh, past kingdom. So we are kind of, in many ways, we are brothers of each other. It's just that these people in Berlin has decided to put some line between us. But so having said that, I'm very much convinced that if we reduce and if we remove all aspects of politics, geopolitics, and international politics, we should be very much able to build Africa and develop Africa, uh, especially in the SADC, where we are. I mean, there is very small geographical barriers between the countries. I mean, we are able to build the roads which can cross all the SADC country with very limited issue in terms of geography or lands, all that. So opportunity is there. The nature has given us a very beautiful region, very rich region as well. But we just lagging behind because of the politics and the politicians, I can say. Now, potential is also big, because if you consider that if you see all the wealth in the SADC countries, you can just relate how we can build and develop this region. Now, how to strengthen and take the benefit of it? Uh, from my point of view, with the current status of the politics, again, uh, as PMI chapters, we can play a big role. As I said in the beginning, Africans have been project manager for ages in the past, but the current Africans may not be conscious that project management has got the recipes to develop the continent. So the PMI chapters, I mean, they have a kind of mission, from my point of view, to go and open the eyes of the maximum of people, to open the eyes of politicians, and tell them this is the discipline we need to develop in our people, in our kids, in our children. They have to learn how to make things happen. Whatever discipline, whatever industry you are in, if you are not able to make things happen, you can become useless in the society. So we need really to go and, like the disciples of Jesus, go and spread the good words, telling them this is what we need to teach, to learn, and to master if we want to develop our country. So this is what I think we should be doing. It's to really cry out there that, guys, project management is the way forward. Whatever industry, whatever profession you are in, you need to get and to have a minimum level of project management so that you can make things happen in your profession. Once we'll have one leader, one president, one prime minister, one minister who can listen to us, understand, and ask us how we can do that, I think that day the changes can become, it can start becoming reality in Africa.
Great, Danny. And in your perspective, what is important for us? What criteria we supposed to use to choose or prioritize the projects in Africa? Or what you think that we think that we are doing the most important first? We are follow some kind of criteria for in our continent that sometimes we think that we are doing things in different way. We are bringing that what is not important first and keep late to what is most important in terms of criteria of prioritize the project, prioritize initiatives, and even in political way. We think that we are doing correctly in our country, in our continent.
No, definitely. As I said, I think the politics is really dragging us behind and delaying our development. In terms of priority, I used to tell my friends and even my kids that the most important difference between people is what is their priority, because based on that, they will take decision, they will put something before other things. And so talking about priority is important. But now, when it comes to leading and managing a community, managing a country, that's where the expression that has been introduced in the project management book of knowledge, the PM book version 7, where they speak about servant leadership. I mean, I'm a great believer that a leader has the first responsibility of a leader is to become selfless. You must put the people, the community, the department, those you are leading, your family, they must come first, which means when there is a decision to be taken, I mean, the algorithm to decide which option should I validate or take in order to move forward, it should be systematic and always be the same. It should be consistent, where if I'm a leader of a family and I need to take a decision for the family, the benefits and the good of the family should come before my personal good. So if we have leaders who are able to use this basic principle properly, I'm definitely sure that the best project will always come before. Then there is also, I mean, I've been in supply chain management. Optimization is a permanent activity. We always try to make sure that when it comes to cost, when it comes to purchase, when it comes to move goods, for example, we have to use the most optimal solution. We must end by the optimal negotiation to be able to get the biggest benefit. So, and in terms of optimization, there is many tools, many techniques where now, if I have to select between two projects in the same domain, in the same discipline, I can just use basic objective technique to see where do I get the most out of it. But the first driver of prioritization should always be servant leadership. What is the benefit? What is the goods for the people I'm leading? That will be my say here in terms of prioritizing projects in Africa.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you. I think that we learned this from first time we start studying, start know a little bit more about projects, and I think that in fact that if you want to be good project manager, we need to be a great person before, and we have the sense of importance and this feeling for the people that we are working to. This is very important. Vanusa, I pass you the ball.
Yes, Lenny, thank you. Thank you. I've learned a lot just this little time, minutes that we have been here. So I'd like to know, normally, what criteria do you use to select the project you get involved in Africa?
In terms of criteria, I mean, we have a lot of big problems, big issues to address in Africa. And currently, even if potentially we are very rich with our soil, our nature, and all the things that God has given to Africa, we are very rich, but it's not yet usable to support the needs of the people, of the needs of the Africans. So there is a very big exercise of prioritizing and of making sure that we are selecting the most important, the most impactful initiative when we want to use the money. And this, unfortunately, is not always the case because there is many interference when it comes to making this type of decision. So from my point of view, the criteria should, again, it should call for the servant leadership of our leaders, because they are the one running the countries. I mean, the individuals, professionals, even the private sector in some countries are not strong enough to move blocks and to deliver the good values that is expected by the whole community. Government should play their role. They are there for that, and they are the one having the big power, the big authority, and the money to do it. But they need to become really servant leaders and make sure that they are putting the good of the people, the country, before taking their decision. As I said, the modern way of doing project management has put in place many tools, many techniques that we learn when we study those certifications, when we study those courses. So knowledge is no more an excuse because it's available. What is now really missing is those good people who can really put Africa, who can really put their country before any political agenda, any personal agenda. This is what is really missing us. So in terms of criteria for me, it's to look for what can impact the most and the maximum of people, and what can help people to leverage and start working and bringing their own contribution, because we African are not lazy. I mean, we know what to do. We have some small activities. We know how to fight with all the issues in life. But what we need is to be given the opportunity, the platform to express ourselves. These are the minimum things that for me should come in the criteria, which means first, what can impact the most people? Secondly, what can help people to start contributing and bringing their bricks in the building of Africa, so that the maximum bricks we are having from many people, from many source of people, the most rapidly we can accelerate the development of Africa. We need to see how we can empower those people. This is, I think, the right word, empowering people. What are those projects, those initiatives which can empower people to be able to bring fast and many? Yes.
Okay. May I continue, Alcides?
Yes, let me make a question first. Benny, do you think that there is a gap between African and Western countries in terms of development, in terms of use of technology? Yes, there is a gap between the
Sorry,
countries
come
from
again.
Africa. You think that we have a gap, some kind of distance in terms of development, in terms of conditions of life between Africa countries and Western countries? You think that there is a gap in your point of view?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. I mean,
Yes.
the gap is there. There is a gap.
Yeah. Yes. And how we can reduce this gap? You think that the use of new technologies can be maybe a first how can I say Vanusa, um acelerador de desenvolvimento.
Oh, he means how can we accelerate, the
Yeah, okay.
development?
Yeah, of Africa
How
countries.
fast? Yeah.
Yeah, there is a maybe the gap with this between these countries, and what about the introduction of artificial intelligence in our lives? Do you know how to think about ChatGPT, for example?
See, first, yes, I think there is a gap, but we need to understand where is the gap.
Okay.
Of course, and I think all are now aware of that. The gap is not in terms of superiority or inferiority between human beings. We are all equal. So the gap is not at that level. The gap is maybe in terms of history. In some point of time, they have got the West have got the opportunity to be more to have more tools, more developed tools, weapons, techniques than Africa, and they took benefit of it. So all the colonialism and the slavery is coming out of that. But as of today, the internet, let's put it simply, internet, from my point of view, has really put all the people on the same level in terms of accessing science, accessing knowledge. Today, everybody, every person who has access to internet, they can have access to any knowledge, any information if they want. So knowledge definitely is no more a gap between West and Africa. And thanks to the digital revolution, we are even bringing the accessibility of internet very deep in Africa. I mean, wherever you have today a 4G network running, you can have access to internet, which means you can have access to the world and to the world's knowledge as of today. So definitely the digital evolution have helped a lot to bridge the gap between civilization, between the countries. And we should continue. I mean, the simple fact of, I was talking about the criteria of empowering people, which will come among the first criteria in the selection of projects. Yes, actually, the simple fact of facilitating the deployment of internet access in one country or in Africa, this simple action is already bringing all those people having access to the internet. It's bringing to them knowledge, it's bringing to them technology, it's bringing to them science, so they can really learn and develop themselves and express their talent. So from my point of view, the digital evolution, the digital revolution is a very big and strong bridge between the countries, between the West and Africa. Now, this digital innovations is now bringing us artificial intelligence with all those chat GPT, and I've learned with the help of our good friends, Dr. Andre Onana from Senegal, that there is now artificial intelligence assistant or tools in so many activities in the world. My take in this buzz and this growing impact of artificial intelligence for us is that it will help those who understand how to use it. And we should take full benefit of it. I mean, the Western have invented, maybe they are the one bringing the artificial intelligence bots to the whole world, but they don't tell people how to use it. They are not obliging us to only use and keep it in some area of our life and not using it in some other area of our life. It depends on us, on our creativity, on the way we want to impact and leverage on these artificial intelligence assistant tools, how we want to leverage on them, how we want to spend time to study them so that we can really use them to fix our issues, because our issues are not the Western issues. So that's where I would really emphasize and call for people to make sure that it's coming from West, but the way of using it depend on us. And we are the one deciding on how we want to use it. So, and I'm definitely sure that it will bring a lot of disruption in many ways. Now, do we want to control those disruption, or we want to have them imposed to us, like it was the case with the previous innovation? This again, it's really depend on us individually, but also as a community. And when we talk about community, we talk about leaders. What is the thoughts of our leaders when it comes to leverage on artificial intelligence? How do we want to use them? How do they want us to discover it and to leverage on it? That's where I think the game will be key. And the problem in Africa is that you will find some nation where they will really understand and they will put maximum efforts to bring it at the next level for the good of their people. But you'll unfortunately find maybe the neighbor country where they don't care about that, and they will be just receiving what is coming from outside. So that again depends. I'm putting everything on our leaders, but they are there for that. They should try to reduce this gap of understanding of development of Africa, and try to make sure that we are having kind of the same level of improving. It will bring us more strength, and people will listen to us more easily. Yes.
Thank you, Danny. I pass. Now it's your time, your turn, Vanusa.
It's kind of interview. I'm feeling like I'm defending for a job. I hope I'll get something out of it. Yes, Vanusa, it's a training for interview for a job.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds. It
Good,
sounds.
good
It,
exercise. Thank you. I would like to listen also from you on the same questions. Alcides,
yeah.
what do you think about ChatGPT, for example? Let me turn the table around.
No.
ChatGPT. Sometimes I have some kind of concern with some ChatGPT. I ask him, "Are you sure?" "Oh, I'm wrong. Sorry for that. I supposed to tell you that." Yeah, the idea is to make the right question, to have the right answers. Yeah, I think that the secret will not be in the answer, but is in a way that we make questions. That is different, but it's great. I love ChatGPT. I use it daily in my activities. Even today, when we were working on script for this talk, I went there. What I supposed to ask Danny? Something like that. Yeah, I think that is great, and um, I don't know if we will put aside some kind of jobs, but we need to work hard and try to have a better position of ourselves in the companies. But because I think that someone will lose the jobs, because have everything like we can find there, people that work for make some documents and something like that. I think that it's very easy to do this through ChatGPT. Vanusa, what do you think about?
Yeah. I also think so. I mean, it's 1 hour is very little, for us to talk about, to make a lot of questions, and to know. So I think we have 6 minutes left or so. So actually, my question goes to you, Alcides, not to Danny. but I'm curious because you are very active. You know, you do so many things at the same time, and sometimes I ask myself, "Oh my God, how does he manage?" And there's a say that normally I hear that if when you want something, when you love something, you will always find a way to make it, to do it. And I know that many, you know, being in a project, being a president of PMI in Africa, talking about Angola, I know you have faced a lot of difficulties. So I actually asked you the same question I asked Danny. Through your journey, have you ever felt like giving up?
Giving up? No, never,
Yeah. Okay.
never, never think about giving up. But I think about change the way
Mm-hmm.
that we're doing things now. So, we have a secret. It's that we work with fantastic people. I think that people are fantastic when we involve it, we engage people, and gave them opportunities to shine. The people do fantastic things. And here in Angola, we have this kind of opportunity to work with a lot of volunteers that they want to do things,
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and we just need to look for the opportunity and share with the volunteers, and that is the secret. We always been have been involved with very special people, and that is the why we keep on doing the our trajectory now, and we worked hard to bring chapter here. And I'm very lucky because through this way, then you talk about Mr. Chimera. It's a very important person in PMI and help us a lot. And I have a lot of friends as Mr. Danny, Mary, Rosemary, Lynn, people from Africa that help us a lot in this uh, during this trip.
The journey. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this journey, yeah, was fantastic. And the secret is this: work with people, involve
Yeah.
people, and love people. Also, we need to love to do great things. We need to love. If we don't love, we give up in the first fail that we have in our life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's great. Thank you. I think I'm good. I'm good for now. I'm just a bit worried about time, and I'll pass it over to you. I'll see.
Yeah, Danny, are you follow the war between in middle of Sudan?
In Sudan.
Yes.
Sincerely speaking, yes, but from very far. After the COVID, I have disconnected myself with live news.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the news when I need to learn about something, but it's no more like every day before I go to sleep, I was watching the news at least for half an hour. The COVID has really kind of traumatized myself. So I really go when I need to learn something or I heard about something going on. So I'm watching it. I've tried to understand what is going on, but I can tell you what happened yesterday, for example. Maybe now that you're asking me, I will go and try to see if there is anything new.
Yeah, it's a kind of war different from Russia and Ukraine, that are
Sure.
different countries that are fighting each other. In Sudan, it's two brothers, friends that work together and are fighting each other. That is the problem. I put a question here, and you can read the question that I put there about Africa. We have 5 minutes, Vanusa. 5 minutes more, maybe. I didn't listen.
1 minute only.
1 minute. Okay, 1 minute only. Let's give 3 minutes, Vanusa. Let's give three
Okay.
minutes. Let's talk about future. Okay, future of Africa. Danny, what is your perspective about Africa? What you think that we can do? What we can improve to make a better Africa, a great Africa? What do you think about this? What is your opinion?
Thank you. That's a big question. Huh? It's like you are asking the head of African Union. But see, I think, as I've said, we need to trust African. We Africans are not lazy. We are very strong and very creative and very powerful people. We should trust Africans and give them the opportunity to work and develop their country and our continent. So for me, the perspective should come in initiatives that are empowering Africans so that they bring their own developments, they bring their own growth, you see. So if I can list down a few aspects where we should really put effort, focus, and money, it is first education and knowledge, professionalism. The professional people, for me, there is no choice. We should really fill them with project management. Those are those who are already professional. Students, we should make sure that they are learning what will give value to themselves and to Africa. And our kids, we should teach them what will bring Africa really at the next level. And we should have the courage of challenging existing stuff, existing methodology, existing programs. We know today, we are able to know today what will be needs as skills, as knowledge in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years. Studies are there. How do we bring this stuff in the program that our kids will start studying in primary school, in secondary school, and in university from next year? Those are, I think, at educational level, that's how we should do. All those who are already working in the working system, we should feed them with project management, because this is what will help them to deliver what they need to deliver, to bring to reality whatever is asked from them. So that's on the education. Secondly, it's communication. By communication, I'm meaning the physical one, which means roads, the air freights. We should facilitate African to move from one country to another. We should facilitate goods to move from one country to another. And also the digital communication. Bring internet, bring the capability, knowledge, information, the deepest in our countries. Those people in the villages should be able to access internet and to take all the advantage, all the benefit out of it, because they will be the one actually surprising us with innovation, with good stuff. Thirdly, for all these two to happen and to be sustainable, we need a minimum peace and stability. So you have spoke about South Sudan. DRC also is experiencing a very hard time in the east part of the country. If you go in the Sahel, there is also some difficult things going on. In Mozambique, there are some issues. So we should bring a minimum peace so that they can really project themselves and start doing things today, knowing that tomorrow, in 5 years, in 10 years, it will bring some fruit, it will bring some contribution to develop Africa. So I would say those are the three, for me, area where we should be focusing and trying to bring the maximum of our attention, the maximum of our focus, our efforts, and our money.
Great, Danny. Great. Last question. Are you going to Kenya and Nairobi in PMI Africa conference in September?
Yes, yes, Kenya, we are coming. We are coming. Since I've been introduced to the PMI Africa conference in 2016, I made a firm promise to myself not to miss anyone in the future. So definitely I will be there in Nairobi, and hopefully I will bring the whole family and let them also discover the PMI stuff. And I call everybody to meet us there. They will, I think, discover many good things around project management and PMI. I hope to meet you two guys also.
Yes, thank you,
Let's
Danny.
meet in Nairobi.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet, but yeah, I'm doing my best.
Okay, I'll see that. This is
Yeah.
your project. Make Vanusa to be in Nairobi in September.
Vanusa is like Africa. We need to study. Good way. Yeah. Danny, thank you very much to be our first guest in our PM from Africa, project management for Africa, and it's a pleasure to have you here. It's
One
like a
question.
dreams that comes true, and I hope that in next event you stay with us, make company me and Vanusa, and stay together to interview our next guest.
My pleasure. But one question, the F, is it for or from?
From Africa.
Good to know.
Yeah, from Africa. Yeah, yeah.
My pleasure. It has been a really honor. Thank you for having me as your first guest. And
Yeah.
definitely I will be happy to be in the best seat,
Yeah.
the questioning one for the next
Thank,
who will come on the hot seat.
thank you. Thank you. My part is okay. Thank you very much. Vanusa, you can close our section with your words.
I'm good. Thank you very much, Danny. Thank you, Alcides. It was a great opportunity, um, especially to practice English. I spent the whole day today speaking Portuguese, a little bit of English, first hours of the morning. But yeah, it's always good to practice. I think Alcides, your English is not bad like you think or like you say. Of course, yeah, we always want to be better, and this is good. Yes, you have just to work on your verb. My English is not also perfect, so I always study. And the best way to learn English, I always say, is practicing. You know, talking, having this type of conversations, because there's no use for you to go to school. Receive a lot of models and a lot of lessons and a lot of topics, but you don't actually practice. It's a waste of time. So practice makes it perfect. And well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Good night
Take
to you
care.
guys.
Good night.
Thank
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
you, everybody.
Good night. Bye.
Good
Thank
night.
you,
Good
everybody
night.
that joined us.
Bye bye.
Bye.